Today's guest conversation is with the pitching coach for the Tarleton State Texans, Mr. R.D. Spiehs. Here's episode 63 of the Baseball Forward podcast. R.D. Spiehs, Randall Dale Spiehs. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, Ross. Thank you for using my whole Christian birth name. I appreciate that. Things are great here in Stephenville, Texas. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, Coach, I got to say this first. Man, you've got one of the most recognizable names, and you've had a heck of a baseball life so far. A lot left to go. And R.D. Spiehs is a name that has I heard it was like our paths were trying to cross, and finally they crossed. So I want to say it's good to finally meet you. It's good to finally talk with you, Mr. R.D. Spiehs. I want to know, just as the R.D., before we came on, what's the R.D. for? Where does that come from?
It's very unoriginal, Central Nebraskan. My father's a Randall with a different middle name. Uncle and grandpa is a Dale. And so I guess before I, entered the planet, 45 years ago, they were like, let's do a Randall and a Dale, and we will call him RD. And it has stuck. I've been called worse, but RD is pretty easy. The Spiehs sometimes gets a little butcher shot, but no, that's kind of how it came to fruition.
I like it. So you're originally from Nebraska. Is that right? You say you grew up in Nebraska. Did I read a Grand Island in there?
Yes. Thank you. Grand Island.
Right on I-80.
Yes. 100%. 90 miles west of Lincoln. There's the North and South River, which are not really big deals, created the island. And so, 50,000 strong, good old 308 area code back in the day. And so, thanks for the shout out.
Hey, and let's I want to chat about this. I know, man, you had a heck of you've obviously been coaching for a long time now, but you had a heck of a playing career, and you pitched at Nebraska for quite some time. And man, you had a great career at Nebraska. So I gotta know, with Nebraska, you're in Grand Island. Boy, Nebraska baseball started just exploding in the late 90s and early 2000s. And I believe you were on the first team for Nebraska that got to Omaha, and you pitched game one in Omaha. What was that like, growing up in Nebraska, wanting to play for the Big Red, getting to kind of realize your dream, and then being a part of like that dynasty that was, because Nebraska baseball was something in the early 2000s, man.
No, 100%, and appreciate the trip down memory lane. Many moons ago, my father also was a catcher and co-captain at the University of Nebraska. So I had a recruiting process. There were other suitors in there: Iowa State, Creighton, so on and so forth. But realistically, I was actually the last recruit under Coach John Sanders. And a month later, they're like, hey, Coach Sanders is going to be going in a different direction. And so we waited to hear that there were a couple guys from Northwestern State that were going to come up and make a difference. And we're like, who's Dave Van Horn? And
wow,
what's Rob Childress going to do? Wow. And then, was fortunate. Freshman year, regional; sophomore year, super regional; junior year, College World Series. Shane Comini actually threw game one. I got to start game two, which was an unforgettable experience in Omaha against Tulane. And then, the Huskers went back in 2002 and 2005, and here we are today. But no, those are some great times to see that quick transformation on how you can build some things very, very quickly.
It's fun because man, I'm a huge baseball guy, but it's fun to think back at kind of what was sometimes, and some things never change. I mean, Coach Van Horn, my goodness, that was 2000, and when he came with 2001, it's 2025, and he's still making waves in Omaha. And man, I hope at some point, they can cross the threshold with that national championship, because I don't know that there's a more deserving coach out there to be a national champ than Coach Van Horn.
100% agree. And at the time in the trenches, you don't know, you're 18 to 22 years old, and you're like, man, this is tough. The level of expectation, the threshold was very, very high, but the copious amounts of trips to Omaha, just model of consistency again and again for great teams. And it's going to happen for them. And very deserving. But to be a part of like the ground floor, to set the foundation to the skyscraper that was built there, was something that, never forget and very thankful for.
Heck yeah. Talking with R.D. Spiehs, pitching coach for Tarleton State in Stephenville, Texas, out of the WAC. Man, I gotta tell you this. You told me something that I didn't realize, that Tarleton State is part of the A&M family. You clear that up for me, but I'm just gonna lead with this. Boy, Tarleton State. I hear. I live in McKinney. I'm in Dallas, DFW area. Boy, you start hearing a lot about Tarleton State lately. A lot about Tarleton State, and I gotta believe that there is something massively special being built in Stephenville. So fill me on what's going on at Tarleton State right now.
Okay. Yeah, no. To say that we're trending in the right direction as a whole athletic department, I think would be a grave understatement. But you got to remember, 38 years ago, there was no baseball program at Tarleton State University. Then they put on their NAIA shoes, and then they're like, no, let's go Division II.
Yep.
And then it's just been, 7 years now where the transition went from Division II to Division I. And 2023, before head coach Fuller Smith and we arrived, there was still, a dozen games that were against Division II opponents.
Wow.
So we came on board almost 2 years ago to the day and played the full first Division I schedule. Fast forward, we were preseason ranked 9th in the conference going into 2024, and 120 days later, we're dogpiling and winning the WAC tournament.
That's crazy.
And so going in through year two, so being a part of the A&M system, there's obviously A&M Corpus Christi, Kingsville, Texarkana, but I believe that this is the true sister school and the primary institution that they want to make a stamp on in North Central Texas. Wow. And so that's the primary reason there's $554 million worth of construction under contract. And it's just like, here, basketball, here's a $110 million arena and event center. And, you need an 8,000 square foot addition to your weight room. Cool. Basketball or baseball, softball, do you need $4 million? That just happened in the last calendar year. So to say that the trajectory is in a good spot, I think is very, very accurate right now.
Wow, that is so much fun to hear. And that's what the buzz is, because you and I both know this. You gotta, boy, the state of Texas is just special, period. It's just special. There are so many stinking athletes in this state. There's so many good athletes in this state. And I have two sons, and I always tell them, man, if you can do it here in DFW, you can do it anywhere. And I can't even imagine what competition would look like for a mid-major type school if you don't have the facilities. And to hear that the financial backing is there, and like that's the type of stuff that changes programs, the trajectory of programs forever. What say you?
Yeah, no, 100% correct. I mean, we're fortunate. There's good weather, and then there's a lot of population, and athletics mean a lot, not only to this university, but to all the prospective student athletes we're recruiting. But being the fastest growing Division I out of the 25 Division Is in the state of Texas is a big deal. Being the fourth fastest growing university in the country is a big deal. They're literally, there's no more dorm beds available, so they're building more dorms, more parking garages. But to just, it's like we tell the recruits, it's like, you're getting better. You're trending in the right place in the right time. Right. And, you're going to be on the ground floor for the first team that goes to a regional, first team that goes to a super regional, playing deep into June. And those things aren't on a hope or a promise anymore. There's some fiscal backing to really make those things happen. And just really, really fortunate to be a part of the system and this baseball program.
I'm curious, talking with R.D. Spiehs here on episode 63 of the Baseball Forward podcast. I'm curious, Coach Spiehs, a guy like you, resume, you've seen a lot of things in your time as a coach. What was it specifically about Tarleton State where you said, boy, at this point in my career, that's the one that checks the boxes. That's the place that I want to be to continue my growth as a coach?
I would say there's three main components to that. And that's a really good question. Nothing against the North. I'm a Northerner, but you get to put your shovel and snowblower away.
That's right.
And you get to see ball flight, both out of the hand and off the bat, for 120 days during the winter is number one. Number two, the president of this university, Dr. James Hurley, is like the biggest go-getter that I think that I've ever met personally. Really? I mean, it is 5 a.m. up running with ROTC. 6 o'clock, he's sending emails to basketball boosters. 7 o'clock, he's hustling around. Like, it is all gas and no brakes with this guy. Steve Urias, new athletic director, who's seen it at a high level, both at, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. And then head coach Fuller Smith. I mean, if you bring that name up just as far as great human being, tireless work ethic, recruiting go-getter, it was all voices singing in harmony. And then from a personal level, when my wife and I first got engaged, I was like, hey, I got a hot spot for us. We're going to go to Grayson Junior College in Texas. And Grayson has a great program, but being around, the 7.5 million people in the Metroplex, and we try and do the best job with all the kids in the state. It's just kind of a win, win, and a win. It's the 20 things around the dartboard being like, facility, conference, upgrades, trend. And so it kind of made it a no-brainer. And so once again, like, excited to be here and to see what goes on for the next 12 months, 12 years and beyond.
Man, I'm excited for you guys because it's fun. It's fun to watch. I get it. We're in DFW, in the Houston area. You hear about Texas A&M, and you hear about Texas all the time. And like, no offense, but like, they're kind of old. I'm like, take it or leave it. And I love seeing the commitment of what you said, James Hurley. How cool is that, having a someone who leads by example? When you're around someone that you find that leads by that example, how important is that to you kind of at this stage in your career?
Paramount. It's infectious. Like, everything stops, whether it's business, baseball, marriage, whatever it is, everything stops from the top down. And if the example is good, consistent, and right, well, it's just like, women's basketball, there's 20 more wins. Tennis, back-to-back WAC championships in 23 and 24. Softball second in the conference and one game away from playing in a regional. It just gets to be all voices singing in harmony. And, you look at the people working the construction are working, 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, and all the coaches are doing recruiting visits, 51 weeks out of the year. And so, like, it's just, there's a lot going on to be proud of. And I think when people put the block T on the front of their jersey, the city, the campus, and the town wraps its arm around you, and it really takes care of the name on the back of the jersey as well.
And every college kid in America that's going to listen to this, or high school kid in America that wants to play at the Division I level or at a high level of college baseball, every kid just wants to feel loved. Every kid wants to feel like they're going to a place where, hey, man, this is special. This is bigger than me. The community, is involved. They love what we're doing. They come out and they watch. As you guys have been gaining that momentum as an athletic department, how has in your 2 years there, how has the community, has the involvement of the community grown? Do you see more enthusiasm when you're going to the local Walmart to get your groceries or whatever? Like, talk to me about what it looks like to be at Tarleton State right now in the community.
It's incredible, because the fishbowl is somewhere you want to be swimming at a lot. Or a lot of times, if you present a city of 25,000 people, it might be him and Han being like, where's the zoo? Where's the amusement park? Where's the thing? Mm-hmm. The thing is Tarleton.
Yes.
The thing is like, you're a part of the fabric and fibers, let's ride together. I mean, this is back to back national rodeo champions as well. Wow. And so it's gritty over pretty, and the campus is already pretty, but it's getting even more pretty. And possibilities aren't just, overpromised coach speak that, hey, maybe one day. No, it's happening right now. And when you come to the confines of Tarleton, you see it right in front of you. Mm. And then the proof is in the pudding with, how athletics and how we're trending. And so it's cool to, car wash, HEB. Hey, how you doing, coach?
Yep.
Starbucks a couple weeks ago, went in there, got the old Pikes roast, and there's like, thanks, coach, as opposed to the name for the order. And so it's cool to just see the alumni, everyone come out of the woodwork and want to see this thing keep going in a great direction.
That fires me up. Talking with RD Spiehs, episode 63 of the Baseball Forward podcast. Coach, man, I want to take the opportunity to talk to you about pitching because, boy, that's what you're good at. That's what you've done your whole life. And I want to talk a little bit about pitching. So, let's start here. This time of year, are you out watching a ton of games? Are you out evaluating a bunch of guys? What specifically are you doing as the pitching coach at Tarleton State? What are you doing this time of the year? We're about ready to roll into July. What are you doing?
Correct. Well, June has been aggressive. It's kind of like a 5-headed monster where we've done 6 days of kids camp. We've went 4 area code events, seeing the young, 26, 27s, and 28s. I believe that we have had 7 transfer portal visits.
Holy cow!
Throughout the month. We've also hosted 35 select high school travel games on our field as well. And then I think there's 3,300 D1 guys in the portal. We're looking at all guys in the portal. The spreadsheet that we have has 400, and we're trying to make sure that we get the best horses in the stable. So along with that, we're also trying to take care of our guys who are on roster. There's going to be 17 different pitchers, who are on different throwing plans, coming back, deload, on-ramp, bullpen, going to indoor facilities. And so also trying to make sure that the guys who are already worn Texan uniforms are in a good place when they come back on campus August 16th. We're also trying to make sure that the roster has as many dudes and as much depth as we can possibly get to bull charge into the 2026 campaign.
Yeah. So as you guys are going into the 25, 26, so 25 fall, 26 spring, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's you're going to a roster size of 34. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what does that look like from your, because I imagine you and Coach Smith have had many conversations like, no, we need 18. So what, because to me, it all starts and ends with pitching. Let's just not kid ourselves. Sorry for everybody out there that's listening to this. So, but what does that mean for the pitching staff size at a Tarleton State? Like what is you guys' kind of philosophy on numbers that you want to carry now that you guys are going down to 34?
I think the simple answer is with 34, we're looking at splitting it right down the middle. 17 position players, 17 pitchers. Yep. And you're not wrong. Head coach Fuller Smith and I were talking 10 minutes before we went on here, and he was like, another catcher, another banger, another arm, closer type, or is it strikes over stuff? Is it spin, or is it makeup? And so that's a little bit fluid, but the short answer is 17 and 17 in a perfect world, which it's not. We're probably looking for 6 left-handers, 11 right-handers, and then we want to diversify the classes as well. We got 5 incoming freshmen, we got some returning sophomores. And our roster is 50% junior college, probably 30% transfer portal, and 20% of the high school ranks. And so I think you get a good blend of, a little bit of everything. And so you get guys who are still open to learn. You get some guys with some gray in their beard who are tried and true, who you're going to rely on. And then we're really, really fortunate. 7 out of our 8 top position players are coming back.
Man, good for you.
Truth be told, they could have, tried their hand and went elsewhere and seen if there was value in another conference or another uniform. And they love it here. They bleed purple and they're coming back. We're bringing back the core guys on the mound as well. And they want to be here. And so that's really, really exciting. But getting back to answering your question, probably right down the middle, 17 and 17 is how it's going to look.
Talking with Coach RD Spiehs of the Tarleton State Texans today on the Baseball Forward podcast. Man, that's got to be, and I know it's like, I don't want to feel old and say, oh, times have changed and screw the portal and all that. It's part of it, okay? So, but I'm curious, like, what your take is on, I feel like that's an element of coaching that maybe you didn't predict coming, where you just said, hey, we got 7 out of 8. Well, and in my head, my old school head, I'm like, duh, why would you not? You got a great facility. You got a great program. You guys are building. But, okay, you're right. The value in the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff. So talk to me about the adjustment of just like it. trying to keep this relational versus transactional, because I'm imagining it can get pretty transactional at that level at this point.
100% accurate. And so there is a transactional piece which either allows us to keep a guy in uniform or to get them here.
Mm-hmm.
But once they get here, it's transformational. It is a brotherhood. It is mixing it up with the 430 other student athletes. So there is a piece, and money is important. What we tell the recruits and even our guys who we want to return, it's really not our business whether your family has $2 in their checking account or 200 million. But you want to feel loved, you want to feel taken care of, and we want to take as much weight off your shoulders as we possibly can. And now, we just got at the turn of the calendar year some great information that there is a little bit of NIL, there is maybe a dash of rev share, and we went up slightly on scholarships. And so we're not bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. We're in the octagon with a fight and shot, but there's still advancements that need to be made because the conference is good, and Tarleton is not in this for the green ribbon of participation. Like, they want to win, fast, they want to win often. And so that's a good responsibility and accountability piece. But it was unique to go back with some of our returners, especially the super seniors, the seniors who played a year at junior college, who have another year, just being like, hey, in January, we're like, are we going to do a victory lap? We're going to ride? We're going to don it again? And they're like, yes, but, and so we're like, hey, we're going to fill your bucket up a little bit. And so they've said yes, and it's handshakes and hugs, and these guys are working diligently to get back here in the fall.
Man, you were a 3-year starter at Nebraska. You pitched in big games. I'm guessing you probably would have made a little coin if you would have had the opportunity. I'm kind of mad, because I don't think I was anything special. I got drafted, and played. And I'm like, hey man, I probably could have made some money. Where's our share of it, Coach?
Yeah, no, exactly. My wife and I, who played actually college soccer, she was All-American. I'll pump her up a little bit. She actually played professionally, a little bit of Team USA. And so we're sitting on the couch with our 6-year-old just being like, what is so-and-so getting? What did they just offer? Huh? Full and 400 didn't get it done. Like, what's going on over there? And so, the what if story, but we wouldn't change it for the world. And then we'll just see the climate and how it goes. It's kind of an uncontrollable from this seat right here, but it's adapt and adjust and be a part of it, and keep trending to get these guys to keep their cleats on as long as possible. Because at the end of the day, being fiscally responsible is one thing, but we just want to develop, dogpile, get the guys drafted, and have them get their degree.
Let's go. I like that a lot. And I can't gloss over it. How many kids do you have with your wife?
We just have one. It took us about a decade, but we got a little human being running around now.
Boy, that little human being. We got ourselves an All-American Team USA soccer player and a professional baseball player. I'm thinking maybe that might be the gifted one. What's the child's name?
Sam is age 6, already size 7 hat. I don't know what's inside there, but it's grande cabeza. And what we can see right now, which is not a lot, other than that, he's getting a lot of sass, and he has his mother's speed. So that's good, because this 7.78 60-yard dash time would not be opening any eyes whatsoever. I can promise you that.
7.78. I love it. Talking with RD Spiehs on episode 63 of the Baseball Forward podcast. Hey, I want to get back to pitching, man, because I do want your take. I want your stuff, because a lot of the audience for the Baseball Forward podcast, a lot of high school, middle school type families that they want to know more about the specifics, the position specific stuff. So when I say for pitching, like, do you go into your with your staff? Do you have like a philosophy? Hey, this is the philosophy we're going to follow. Are there mechanical things that you pay attention to? Talk to me a little bit about who you are as a pitching coach.
Okay. No, well, just from the top funneling down, if you're not a true competitor, and if you're not a true strike thrower, you're just probably not going to see the mound very much here at Tarleton.
Okay.
From there, it funnels on down. You got to be an honest communicator. And that's not only, hey, are you going to class? Are you taking care of your business outside of the white lines? But how much concentration are you putting into your catch play? How diligent is your body and arm prep before you even touch the baseball? And then we go down another level. There's 168 hours in the week. And realistically, Ross, what we're seeing is what's going on in between the white lines is just a byproduct of what they're doing the other 165 hours out of the week. Man. And so for me, we tell our guys what I think is the truth. We individually program to get the sum greater than the individual parts.
Okay.
We're all going to compete. We're all going to throw strikes. We're all going to control the running game. We're going to move fast down the mound. We're all going to be good teammates. We're not going to say stupid stuff out loud. But at the end of the day, it's not a one size fits all. I don't want to clone guys.
Yep.
We've got a couple long toss disciples that are throwing 30 minutes at 330 feet every day. There's guys that are at shorter versions. We've got guys who are splitter guys, sinker guys, slider, north-south, some high carry guys. And so I like a whole collage because if it comes down to it, and you got to win a game to either win the regular season or win the conference tournament or, get to the super regional, you want to have a guy on staff that is armed and capable for, the left on left slider. The Achilles heel is the changeup. You want to have that in the bag. But for me, it's about guts and tough and heart. Granted, I like stuff too. In 2023, there's a 100-mile-an-hour arm. I'd like to have 15 of those guys as well. But 2023 dealt with the guy who had the best spin rate in the country and was a 12th rounder. We'll take 10 of those guys as well.
Please.
But at this same token, it's usually more about what's in here and what's in here. TrackMan report's awesome. And pitch design's cool, but guts design, heart design, and strike design is usually more higher on the totem pole for me.
Boy, I like that a lot. And I wrote down because I want you to expand on it because I don't know that what your eyeballs see. I wrote down true competitor, honest communicator. That's interesting. I don't know that I've heard that, honest communicator, but I want to go to true competitor. So when you're out evaluating a guy, how can you tell that he's a true competitor?
I think there's a blend between he's got a little crud running down his neck and he's also stoic. We talk to our guys about, hey, your hand might be sweaty, but it's steady.
Ooh, I like that.
It might be a little bit, hey, the situation's getting a little tight, but the heart rate is down and the focus is up. And this is a term that I didn't learn until after I was done playing, unfortunately. It's always execution over emotion. Execution over emotion. And so that's one thing where, once you make, the final out of the game and you want to have a primal yell or whatever it is, okay. But in the moment, we need laser focus. We need electric focal point. We need execution. We need execution. And so that for me is, you can usually see that, to answer your question, when something goes a little bit haywire, recruiting, double, uncontrollable air, umpire balls him up.
Yep.
Is he stoic or is it a drama skit out there and palms up and roll into the eyes? It's usually like, hey, he's probably not going to be able to make adjustments. He's probably an excuse maker. And we just want someone who's lunch pail to work, who's like, let's go. What's important now? Like next pitch.
Yes.
Oh, ball 3, umpire didn't give it to me. No, you didn't earn it. Like what's important now is the next pitch. Air, awesome. What's important now? Wonderful opportunity to work on getting a ground ball double play.
Yeah.
And so being able to read the human being, developing the relationship with them on the phone during the visit, it's all about fit. Head coach Fuller Smith says it all the time. It's about fit. Are they tough enough? Yes. Are they tough enough? And I don't know, not to get too long-winded, if they can win in a bare knuckle boxing fight, but are you tough enough to overcome? Because everyone in college baseball, as you know, gets a big piece of humble pie.
Man, that's a fact. Too much of it. Okay, so I want you to piggyback on the true competitor, because I want you to expand on honest communicator. Boy, that's interesting, Coach Spiehs. So why is communicating as a player so important to their overall success?
2 big reasons. Number one, I think, is for health. because if the communication isn't reciprocal and it's not on a two-way street, there might be a pitcher who in the first 6 weeks is like, my arm's kind of banging a little bit. I got a golf ball in my shoulder, but I don't want to say anything because coach is going to call me soft or wuss. And I really don't have that relationship with him where if we can back a guy off, hey, not feeling great? No problem. No long toss, no pull downs. We'll back your bullpen up a couple days. Let trainer evaluate you. I think from a health component, the honest communication is paramount. Also, in game, we tell our guys we need zeros and not heroes.
Yeah.
So everyone's been there before, whether you're a pitcher or a coach at whatever level. It comes about that time where the tank's getting empty, and the coach is like, "What do you think?" And if there's not that genuinely honest, like, I can go back for one more, or coach, tank is empty, done, waving the white flag, it's time for handshakes and hugs. Then you just might be sending a guy out there who's a lesser version of himself. He might get injured, momentum turns. Who knows? This series might get turned around or the season. And so that's why the honest communication in every respect is just at an elite level for me, or what we strive for.
I hope every young player listens to that because, man, you hit that right on the head. There are so many kids out there that will listen to this, that are going through it. They're going to do it today. That their coach is going to go out and say, "Are you good?" Yeah, and they're not. And there's nothing wrong with honestly communicating. What a brilliant explanation for that. That's not what I was expecting, but that's why you're there and I'm here. Talking with R.D. Spiehs of Tarleton State on the Baseball Forward podcast. Coach Spiehs, as you guys are I want to talk a little bit about just recruiting briefly in general, because the world has changed so much for recruiting, and it almost seems more unattainable to be like a Division I guy at a high school, like to go to a Division I school at a high school. I know you gave me the percentages, 50, 30, 20 of kind of where you guys are at, 20%. That still sounds pretty good to me. Like, I'm like, hey, I would want to communicate with Tarleton State. So specifically for the high school guys out there that are dreaming of playing, at your level, like, how do they get your attention? How do they get on your radar? What should they be doing? Give them some advice.
Well, they need to stay healthy, number one. They need to perform, number two. And for us, they need to have some sort of a carrying tool. Like, you gotta be able to burn. You got to be able to run under 6'7", 60. You got to be able to bang. You got to be able to, hit doubles or hit some home runs. From a pitching aspect, there's got to be something, whether it's velocity, spin, deception, clean delivery, athleticism is really, really good. So that's just the foundation. Now, as we continue to build levels here, we need to see it at the right time. And sometimes that's social media. Sometimes that's going to be, sometimes emails fall on deaf ears. We try and be diligent there. But I think just being proactive, and you don't need to hold the cards close to your chest. If you want to be part of Tarleton, let us know. You want to be a part of TCU, let them know. Yeah. You want to play in Austin, let them know. And I think too many times in the game of baseball, it's like, hey, I don't want to bother coach, or, I don't want to, probe into something that I'm in uncharted waters. Mm-hmm. Like, let people know, like, I want to be here. I want this job. Like, we have a couple of incoming freshmen. Both parents, both graduated from here. They're alumnus. They kind of just shouted from the treetops, "We want to be here." Yeah. We're like, "Great, you're good at baseball.
We want you to be here."
Yes, exactly. And so I think there's got to be a skill set. Obviously, there's got to be a student component as well, to the athlete component as well. We're a 316 GPA, and so we're trying to be well-rounded throughout. And like I said, if you're not healthy and you can't show up and show out, it's going to be tough for us to evaluate you. But don't be shy as well. Be like, hey, I want to be a part of this thing. I'm taking notice. Please take notice of me. I think those are some good steps to start the process with any prospective student athlete.
That's powerful. That's powerful, because that's the way it is in life, man. I mean, hey, you want the job, you got to go get the job. How do you get the job? Whatever you got to do to get the job, right?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Coach R.D. Spiehs, Tarleton State. Okay, so I'm a dad of a 10-year-old and 11-year-old, really good players. They're nice little players, but boy, I see some weird things out there in the world today, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm better and I judge, and there are some times where I'm just like, man, these people need to get it together. I am shocked at the behavior of some parents that goes on in select and travel baseball. So I want you to talk to parents quickly, because if we're being real, all of us, me included, as parents, that like if the kids want to play the game and their goal and they love it, they want it to be a part of their future. I think it's important to have some parents that are kind of supporting the right way. Maybe that's the way to say it. So advice to parents out there of the younger generation, like what do you pay attention to? What's a turn off? What's a turn on? Like what advice can you give to the parents out there of the up and coming ball players?
I would say this, and we are actually encountering the same thing last couple of weekends. We were doing a little 6U all-star extravaganza, and you see a lot kind of from the other side when you're not in the trenches. Simply stated, I would say to parents, keep it competitive, but let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
Competitive, but not crazy. Like all in, but not all overboard. There is it's kind of like walking a high road. There's a fine line between doing whatever it takes and embarrassing yourself or putting your child in the wrong spot. And what I mean by that is this: when we go through the recruiting process, we're pretty thorough. High school coaches, select team coaches, and on down the line. And it'd probably surprise you how many times where it's like, "Hey, good kid, but."
Ooh.
Parents are a lot.
Ooh.
Hey, so-and-so's family's kind of a handful. Wow. Hey, like, careful on that one. You know what I mean? Like, we all want to play nice in the sandbox, but the players that get in our uniform, there's a difference between us liking them and them being in the lineup. And that affects the people who they're having Thanksgiving dinner with, who they're having, they're spending Christmas with. Right. And everything that we do is professional and not personal. Wow. And so parents, just please support your son, daughter, athlete. Have them, be the hardest working kid that they can be, but also have the most fun doing it. And if things get off the rails a little bit, help them get back on like professionally, and just know that people are always watching. People are always watching, and just try and create the best example you can, but by showing the example with professionalism, and let the body of work on the field do the talking, as opposed to from row 4. Just doesn't usually work out well.
From row 4. I like that. I don't know why it annoys me. Maybe it's just this past week I see it. The boys were playing in a World Series, and I think they have the proper perspective. It's one of my business partners, Coach Ward, legendary Coach Gary Ward. Surrender the outcome, and that's the only thing that keeps going off in my head. Surrender the outcome. Don't worry about wins and losses. Worry about doing things the right way. So I want to know from your perspective, because you're at the Division I level. Do you guys pay attention to what is going on at 10U, 11U? I feel stupid even ask that question, but I want like a soundbite from a guy that's saying, this is what matters. This is not what matters.
The short answer is, what is going on at 10, 12, 13U? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Are they having fun? Are they going to continue to play the sport, maybe without extra weight on the shoulders or, pressure from whomever? Like, keep them playing. like the percentages that anybody's getting to the big leagues, let alone pro ball, let alone Division I or the college level, is incredibly small. It's about the cohesiveness, the camaraderie, the people in the clubhouse, the brotherhood, the times that they're sharing. So let them do that in the best environment they possibly can, as opposed to what's the score? What mom ruled that an error on Game Changer? Unbelievable. Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? Like, he just had his 11th birthday party. Who cares? Like,
that's right.
Keep the dynamic. It's about the friendship. It's about the people. And so there's a group thread of guys who I played with when I was 14 years old on the Grand Island Gladiators. And there's a group thread that
I think I played against you guys. Keep going.
There's a group thread of the guys who I played with in college. And so like, that's what it's about. And I know it's about, hey, it's a $700 bat and it's an NIL deal. And it's, hey, how do we figure our way into this 20-round draft and pre-draft deal? Like, let's get serious, man. Like, we do want to dogpile. We do want to, develop, and these things are happening, but at the younger levels, like, just keep them in the clubhouse, keep them having fun, keep the camaraderie. And then that's the biggest message that I'd like to convey to maybe parents who have younger athletes on the way up.
Well said. The Grand Island Gladiators. I grew up in Colorado Springs. I feel like I played a Gladiators team. Were you guys like baby blue and red?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
I remember like 8th grade. We were in Denver or something, playing against some Gladiators team from I thought it was Omaha, but
the Omaha Gladiators were a thing, and they had older teams. Grand Island, Central Nebraska, not big city Omaha. So there's an old war story, not a very good one, but I remember my senior year of high school. There was a team out of Omaha that went rogue, and they did like a Connie Mack series. Really? And they weren't playing Legion ball, and it was an uproar in the state. They're like, they're off grid. They're not doing Legion this year. Can you believe it? And it was like blasphemy. They're traveling more than an hour and 10 minutes to a game.
No.
Yeah, no, it was just like, it was crazy.
I love it. Coach Spiehs, we'll finish up here. Maybe one or two more questions. I'm curious, just from your standpoint of where you're at in your baseball life right now, like if you have any regrets, or like if there's something that you would want the younger generation coming up to know that, hey, I didn't do it this way, maybe you should think about doing it this way. Are there any regrets that you or experiences that you would want somebody maybe to not repeat?
Yeah, it's kind of like, what would you tell your younger self?
Sure. Yeah.
Number one, I would say enjoy the wins more. Enjoy the victories more. A lot of times I think with, high-level competitors, regardless of sport or age, you probably dwell on the losses more than you enjoy the wins. Winning a game at the college level is not easy. That's right. There is discipline. There is practice. There are things that have to go right. It's a village to make it happen. And there's just times where I look back, whether it's 3 years in college or 7 years professionally, and you just kind of slap hands at the end of the game and you're like, oh, hey, yeah, we probably should have won that one. Like, anything can happen in this game. I would also say this. There's a quote I heard. I don't know who I heard this from, but baseball players are stereotypically one of two things: they're disciplined or they're disappointed. Wow. They're disciplined or they're disappointed. And when I first bring that up in the first pitcher classroom meeting, a lot of our guys think that I'm talking about what they're doing at 11 p.m., maybe on Saturday night. But I'm also talking about your discipline of your catch play. I'm talking about your discipline on you're not playing well, you're in a slump, play good defense. Oh, you're not in this game, be the first guy to pick the guy up who just scored the run for the team. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, there's a piece of trash. You're not a 38-year-old big leaguer. You can pick that up and leave the dugout better than you found it. Mm-hmm. And it's all encompassing, infectious once again. And so those are the two things, is that enjoy the wins a little bit more, because the time goes fast. And before you know it, you don't get to put your cleats on anymore. You're putting on turf shoes. Yeah. And then just from an overall mantra, hey, you're either going to be disciplined, weight room, sleep, nutrition, hydration, etc., or you're probably end up going to be disappointed. And so those are the two entities that I would give moving forward.
I love that a lot because that is, man, that's so true. And that's just in life in general. Sitting here as a 45-year-old man, I'm like, if I have the discipline to do it, or am I going to be disappointed that I didn't, that I should have done it the right way the first time? What good advice. All right, Coach R.D. Spiehs at Tarleton State. Last question I have for you on the Baseball Forward podcast. Well, it's two parts. Okay. What was your walk-up? What was your walkout music? Like what were you rocking when you were towing the rubber, when you were getting ready to go in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Well, in Lincoln, Nebraska, I think walk-ups were something kind of new.
Yeah.
And the first year I didn't get to choose. I remember that. It was like George Strait, Call Me the Fireman. You know, like it was and then I think I went to Heartland, sing a song about the Heartland my junior year, and then the sophomore year I think I tried to do something like funny or off kilter, maybe like a Neil Diamond song. It didn't play very well. The fans were not really into it, but and then 7 years professionally, I tried to go like off grid and see what I could get going. Maybe a little Led Zeppelin, Cashmere, and a couple songs from Tool back in the day. They were popular for a minute, but it wasn't anything of like Hell's Bells or something mind blowing. They just said, "Freshman, this is your walkout song."
That's right.
Like, oh, you're from Central Nebraska, you will come out to this song. And other than that's one thing that I probably didn't, get an A+ in for sure.
So rolling down the street today, just out driving around, what are you listening to? What is R.D. Spiehs when he's driving in his car? I'm imagining like a truck, maybe a car because it's Tarleton State and they want low miles. Hey, what are you listening to as you're going down the road all by yourself?
We ping pong between two stations. And I do have XM radio. I'm high maintenance. So it's channel 56, which is like prime country, kind of the new age, newer country stuff. Yep. And then I think channel 10 is the 2000s. Ooh. So all the best. We reopened the yearbook, and whether we got our son in the back or my wife, she said, "Oh, remember this one? Turn it up. Remember Claremont Apartments? Like, blast this one." And so anything from 2000 to 2005 or we go with the prime country stuff for sure.
That is good stuff. R.D. Spiehs, let's finish with this, man. Hey, awesome conversation, and I like truly, man, just being living in Texas, I hear so many good things about Tarleton State, and I'm so thrilled that you're there. I cannot wait to watch what this program becomes. And we'll have you back on another time. But I want you just to kind of wrap it up for us, and then I'll take it out with your last words.
Well, Ross, thanks again for having me. Just to kind of go full encompassing here, time goes by quick, so enjoy it. And it rolls off the tongue. 3 years collegiately, 7 years professionally, now in year 16 coaching. Wow. And so just enjoy every single minute of it. There's winners and there's learners. And so enjoy the wins a little bit more. And if for some reason the scoreboard doesn't say right, what can you take away maybe in life, baseball, because the sport can really give you a lot, and it's rewarding for family, for fellowship, and the group of people that you get to interact with, like yourself and everyone in the baseball community. It's really a special thing, and so we're blessed and fortunate to be a part of it.
Well said, sir. Well said, sir. R.D. Spiehs, thank you so much. Episode 63 of the Baseball Forward podcast. We'll see you guys later.